Hello, everybody. Welcome to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and we're going to be talking about what happened yesterday at DC, both comics, DC Universe, and DC, collectibles, where there was massive layoffs, and pretty much kind of what this is going to be doing in the industry and what's their plan now at this point. So before we get started, let me plug a little bit here. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. At the very end of this video, you're going to see a video pop up here. And if you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button down below. If you want to know when I'll be on live again next, you hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at my schedule that's up there and also all the links to all my social media. So, Philip asks, "Is it worth my time to watch the DC Decimation?" It's up to you on that one. I don't know how much you care about where things are going with media, if you will, and conglomerates and things like that. So let's just get started. So actually, this all started Friday. Um, it started with the firing of one of the heads of HBO Max, actually the guy who was the champion of the Snyder Cut over at HBO Max, and it kind of snowballed into Monday. And there were 600 people that were laid off, including a lot of editors for DC Comics, pretty much everyone at DC Universe. And yeah, DC Collectables is pretty much no more as either. So yeah, this was a pretty bad one here, kids. Let me see here. So I have a couple different articles that I have up here. So essentially, this all came about because of the merger between AT&T and Time Warner. AT&T spent $151 billion, that's with a B, to buy Time Warner, of course. And everyone kind of knew that layoffs were coming at some point in time. They just didn't know when. And yeah, this happens to be one of them here. So basically, what's going on is Black Label is pretty much no more, which is a good thing because Black Label was just kind of stupid to begin with. So editors like Brian Cunningham, Mark Doyle, Andy Corey, they're pretty much all gone at this point. You know, Jim Lee has moved away from being the editor now, of DC Comics, and he is now the chief creative officer, is what he's been moved into. Um, yeah, Black Label is drinkable. That's pretty much, well, somewhat, I guess you can say. Yeah, if you're into scotch, and yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening there, but so the editor in chief, Bob Harris, he's gone as well, and he's faced a lot of scrutiny over the years, of course, for um, blocking a lot of. He's been protecting a lot of people, shall we say, that there's been some allegations against. So uh, that's not a bad thing either. But DC Collectables, that thing's gone. That was the merchandising arm of DC that had action figures, statues, and they had some really good stuff too. They had some really, really damn good stuff. I think I have some of it behind me even, and they are no longer around. So they are gone. They're completely gone. Um, and of course, this is all part of Warner Media. That's what they're called, Warner Media, by the way, shifting everything over to HBO Max, and yeah, I mean, the vast majority of DC Universe, the staff there have been let go as well. Um, and by let go, I mean they have until the end of December to I believe it's December is where they're actually going to finalize everything. But yeah, it's pretty much done. So why are they doing this? Are you saying? Because again, they're conglomerating. They are consolidating all this stuff to make things a little bit easier. Yeah, I'm drinking, so I have to on this one because of what they're calling the 2-year plan for DC Comics. So, by the way, today is Jim Lee's birthday. Yay! You get to keep your job, man. That's your birthday gift is you get to keep your job. So, actually, it's not 600 people; it's 800 people. I take that back. It was 800 people that were actually let go. Um, so, yeah, it's just a shitty, shitty time for a lot of people. So, what's going on now is he is now the CCO. Like I said, Jim Lee is the chief creative officer over at DC. That includes overseeing publishing, executive editor of global publishing initiatives and digital strategy, uh, which is Marie Javins. She's been moved up a bit too. And Michelle Wells is still staying there, Pamela Lifford. Um, but like I said, there's a lot of people that are leaving, which I named a few here. So, what is going on with the 2 year plan you're saying? The 2 year plan is going to see DC Comics move over to mass market production through Walmart. That's right, through Walmart. So they're going to be licensing their titles, and the editors are going to be moving the brand managers and approval roles along, moving over to DC. Excuse me, moving DC to digital serialization and original graphic novels. So what does that mean for your comics? That your comics are now going to be well, you can buy them at Walmart. That's one thing instead of having to go to the comic book store, and while they are printing, so I don't know if you remember last month, DC said, "You know what? Fuck you" to Diamond, and they decided they're gonna print their own comics, and they're gonna, sell them straight to the comic book stores. Well, they're still doing some of that as well, but they're gonna be going through Walmart, for the most part. Um, Diamond is trying to bring them back into the fold because, you know, they lose money otherwise that way. They lost a good chunk of money from that. And Steve Jeppy, who is over at Diamond Comics, really is trying to get them back. He really is trying to get them back, or in some part get them back, but I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, this is part of the 2 year plan is moving everything over to Walmart essentially and making it mass marketable and really going the digital route and the graphic novel route at that point. The Like I said, DC Universe is done. Everything is pretty much moving over to HBO Max, and yeah, uh, Doom Patrol is already over there. Harley Quinn just moved over there. Stargirl has moved over to CW, so we know that that's done deal for second season of Stargirl. Titans is most likely going over to HBO Max as well because what else have they got? They haven't even started season 3 yet for Titans. And yeah, most likely that's going to happen. Mork says, think was this was intentional against comic book stores. Walmart is way more accessible. Um, yes and no. So I think what's going on is so with DC actually had a buyback policy on their books where if stores did not, sell certain comics, they were able to buy. DC would buy them back within a certain time period. Of course, you can't hold on to them for like 3 years and then go, okay, I want to sell you back 1,000 comics that I bought. It was, within a certain time frame, and I'm pretty sure that hurt them. And so I was looking at something else. I was looking down the breakdown, like how much does DC actually bring in money wise? Well, the comic book industry is last year was $1.21 billion, right? Out of that, Motley Fool, which is a financial site, has estimated that DC Comics probably brings in about $300 million, roughly, say somewhere like that annually. That's not a lot out of 1.21 billion dollars for the entire comic book industry. That's a small market. Um, so this is a drop in the bucket for AT&T right now. I don't know why they're doing this. Oh, and the other thing too is they're going to be bringing in an editor who was working in esports is what they're going to do for DC Comics. And he is going to oversee I guess, how their distribution's going and their, and their editorial and it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know what this guy with esports is really going to be doing, but it's a strange, strange animal what's going on right now. Yeah, really, Joe. It's I, this is unprecedented. How is this going to play out in the rest of the industry? No one knows as of yet. Um, Of course, AT&T was not gonna sell off DC Comics because of all the IPs that they have, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, on and on and on. Those are all those movies bring in billions of dollars, once they make them, and if they make them well, and then they actually bring in money, but yeah. Um, how does this fare for the Snyder Cut right now, which the $30 million they've pumped in that Snyder Cut? Well, Snyder's still working on it. He actually pumped out another Twitter feed today, excuse me, saying that he was working on something for DC Fandom, which is still going on August 22nd. So August 22nd is when we're doing DC Fandom, which is supposed to be a 24-hour love fest of DC comic books, TV, all that stuff. And you just laid off 800 people, most of whom were supposed to be on DC Fandom. Now what are you gonna do at this point? What do it's gonna be I'm starting to wonder if DC Fandom is gonna be a whole, Comic-Con at home where you can't, interact with anybody. It's all gonna be pre-recorded, and they're just gonna do what they did at Comic-Con at home, which is really gonna suck, if they do it that way. And it's really not gonna be watchable or worth it at that point. So, yeah. Thanks, Marks. Yes, cheers to you as well. Cheers. And yes, that's unfortunately I have to show the label because that's how I drink it in because it's the spigot's right there, as you can see. It's a fine Japanese lager. Um, so yeah, that is pretty much it in a nutshell. My heart goes out to all the people in the industry that just lost their jobs, especially during a pandemic. This fucking sucks for you guys out there. Um, I wish you well. I hope you know you guys land on your feet and find some good, better gigs out there than what happened. This is just a shitty, shitty thing that AT&T did. Um, and yeah, I don't know what to what to say anymore about this other than that. But I felt like I, had to kind of do something, at least do a video and talk about it a little bit because it's pretty big news. It's still evolving too. I mean, this is all the preliminary stuff. Like I said, it just happened yesterday, and we're still getting word. We don't have a lot of official word of what's going on, but we still are getting piecemeal stuff that's coming in. So, yeah, some bad, bad shit, man. It's not good. Um, so one of the things I'm looking at here, it says that um, part of this whole shakeup uh, with DC itself is ending its long running relationship again with Diamond Comics and attempting to open their own path of distribution. So granted, it needed to happen. You need to break away from that monopoly that was going on with Diamond Comics, or Diamond Distributors, I should say. And I'm wondering if Marvel is going to follow suit because I mean they have Disney, um, IDW, by the way, so which is local here in San Diego. They lost money again, by the way. I was just reading how much money they had lost. I didn't know this, but they actually print brochures on the side, like travel brochures and things like that to make ends meet, and even that lost money for them. So yeah, the print game is not that profitable at the moment. And that is what's going on with DC. And I don't know. I mean, this is a drop in the bucket with the like I said, the 151 billion dollars of debt that AT&T has taken on when they took on Time Warner. I seriously, I don't know what they were thinking. Again, I believe it's Coke being blown up AT&T executives' asses when they were making that deal, but still, man, it's just really damn stupid. Joker says, I am now finally started to read all my comics. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I've been reading more DC comics on DC Universe now on, on the TV screen versus anytime I've read them in the last, 10 years, I guess. And that kind of sucks because I like DC Universe. DC Universe was easy to use, it was fun. It's in 4K, unlike HBO Max. HBO Max has a fucking horrible layout. It's hard to find anything. Yeah, you can search for it, but who in the hell wants to search all the time? Have it laid out and done properly so you can actually get through it. I don't know, man. It's just horrible. And I don't know if they're going to fold DC Universe into HBO Max so that you can still read the comics. And the other thing was it was cheaper, it was half the price. Yes, you didn't get HBO movies and all that stuff, but still you're not getting all that many HBO movies on HBO Max either. And it's also all in 2K. So there you go. Or excuse me, 1080p. 1080p. It's not even 2K, it's 1080p. So that's all I got for you guys. That's why I came on, and that's why I preempted. Is it worth my time? Also, because I didn't have anything for Is It Worth My Time this week as of yet. I'll probably think of something. I might do one on Friday at the moment. I'm still thinking about that. So yeah. So this week, Wednesday I'm off, Thursday I'm off. Friday I'm probably going to do Is It Worth My Time? I'll probably move it over to that. Saturday is going to be Saturday morning blast off. We're probably going to be talking more about this because more of this stuff is going to come to light and we're going to get more and more. I think once the shock is worn off, we're going to have more people talking about it and what the fuck happened. And so we'll get more news out of this. And Sunday I'll be off. Monday, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Excuse me, Sunday. Excuse me, I'm not off. Sunday is Lovecraft Country. What am I thinking? It's the premiere of Lovecraft Country on HBO Max. Speaking of HBO Max, and yes, I don't know how next week is going to play out as of yet. I need to take a look at my schedule. Yeah, yes, Lovecraft Country already. Yes, yes, it is. I do though know that next week, Is It Worth My Time is going to have oh god, now I can't remember the name of it. The one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Jamie Foxx that's on Netflix about superhero powers. I'm going to be doing that one. That's going to be next week because it comes out on Friday. So there you go. Or I might just do it Friday. I don't know. I might do that one instead. That way you all have to catch up to me. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Everything's moving quickly. Yeah, we're almost to September already. I know it doesn't feel like it because, we're all been inside and whatnot. We're having a heat wave down here, so it's good to be inside. It's air conditioned. As you can probably hear my air conditioning, straining at the moment. Hopefully it keeps up through this heat wave. Anyway, thank you everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you for making it through this far through the video. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the very end of this video. You're going to see a video pop up here, and if you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button there. And if you want to know when I'm going live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Otherwise, and also, excuse me, what am I saying? Otherwise, go to suspendedfanimation.com where I have my schedule set up there. And I also have all the links to my social media, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon page. I also have the links to this YouTube page, my Facebook page, and my Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. Yeah, it doesn't feel like August or September or Labor Day. Exactly. Yeah, everything's just moving along. So, thank you, everybody. I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Sorry, it was a bummer of a news story, but like I said, it was big enough. I didn't want to bring him down Saturday morning blast off, even though it's probably going to permeate that as well, once Saturday rolls around. So thanks everybody. Have a good rest of your night. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, AT&T might take over your company and try and downsize everybody as well, which is a fucking pisser, man. Just say no to conglomerates. Thanks, everybody. I will see you on Friday. Until then, have a good night. Take care. Stay safe. Be well. And wear your fucking mask. Thanks, everybody. Good night.